Hello, evening broadcast on Friday. We're not following any rules. You can have your lockdown. We've decided to do whatever we want with this stupid show of ours called Cyrus Says. And I've just come back from my first flight in lockdown 2.0. I went to Cal for some NGO work where I got paid a lot of money, which is a paradox. And I must say that Indigo, the flight that I took going, was very nice. They gave me an Indigo passport, and then four girls took pictures with me. Yeah, that sounds vulgar and creepy, but it's true. And they even signed inside it, "Dear Mr. Cyrus Broacha," like, legendary personality. Thank you so much for choosing Indigo. It was a pleasure. We love having you on board. See you soon. I think that's like almost like a come on. And it was from Natasha, Shraddha, Annalisa, Kavya. We have a Kavya on the show as well, and Kalpana. I kid you not. I am not lying. I hope you can see this. This is the truth. At the age of 49, young ladies are giving me their names on pages, which is a fake passport. It was like a message from the past. It was a beautifully thrilling moment. And my colleague who was with me was very upset because nobody called him. All right. We've got some good news. We've got young people on the show finally. We've had too many people over the age of 26, and I abhor that. So we finally got some young people on. They're very interesting. And I say this because I've not met them, obviously. They've got their own podcast, and it's on IVM, and it's called, which I'll probably know the name by not referring to it on the text. It's called, guys, you can help me. It's
It's
called,
got News
News
Kids on
kids
the
on the
Block.
block.
oh, that's what it's called. News Kids or New Kids? Or it's a takeoff
News
on New Kids
Kids.
on the Block,
News.
which
It
also
Yeah.
is
is a
a,
takeoff, yeah.
isn't it a group from way before your time? New Kids on the
We,
It
Block.
we
is.
wouldn't know
We
that.
didn't make the name. We didn't
Yeah,
make
we,
the
we wouldn't
name.
know that.
Okay, so this is somebody from my genre or my generation, a moron, has given you this double-edged sort of meaning to it, and it's got nothing to do with you. But I guess they like the idea of New Kids on the Block. Okay, so let's quickly introduce you, then the podcast, and talk about life, and then next 40 minutes is on Liverpool and football because Trivik has got lots to talk about, and his
I have.
angst and pain and anger about things that went wrong this year. And you
I
girls
have been
already look
waiting.
unhappy. See the effect I have on women of any age. Within 2 minutes, they are completely repressed, angry, and hate me. Ah, my work continues. Okay, guys, listen, our rules on our show are very simple. I talk a lot, waste a lot of time. I soften biodatas. You all claim to do the same. So please, it's a free for all. Interrupt, say what you want, do what you want. All good. If you abuse by mistake or whatever, or purposely, that's fine too. Nobody feels bad or good on this show. This show has very low self-esteem. Let me tell you. I don't know what to do with this show anymore. Honestly, no NGO will take us. We're really at the bottom. So let's quickly introduce everyone. Anya, your biodata, by the way, that was given to me is 16 pages long.
Yeah,
It
sorry.
includes all your from Arangetams to performances across the world, in Toronto, Los Angeles, during the NBA finals, you've performed Hindustani classical and things like that. All that is there. It's just too much. And then it goes into a very strange love for cricket.
Yes, this
Was
is
it
true.
correct?
Yeah,
On
this was.
And then you mentioned Shifali Verma. I was quite impressed, which means you follow the game, and Ravi Ashwin, totally different players. So I would like to ask
Emory.
you about that a little later, obviously, because I don't want to take up everybody else's time. Trivik is always looking angry and upset. And he's also got some strange, like, space cadet thing where the aerial is going up. No, it's on the other side, my brother. All
Here?
right.
That's the mic. It's just that I'm using
But
the
the
other
mic is
one.
the other one.
But
Is it for the neighbor upstairs?
yeah,
Because
it
we've got
is.
one more person taking part. Okay, so Anya, you've got lots to talk about in a minute, but let's go then to Kavya. Kavya has given us just three lines. So Kavya, obviously not interested in. I mean, what kind of people are you? I think you can mean the same amount. So I don't know what to do now because if we went on about Anya, half the show would go and just all her achievements. And Kavya, you've given us nothing.
I'm so sorry. I thought we just talk about our interests, but then Jaraspi told me I had to include more, so I gave one more line, and then she didn't
You know what
reply,
your
so I
line
thought it
is?
was okay.
Your line is unbelievable. Your line is basically I'm 13, but now I'm almost 14. That's in brackets.
Yeah,
That's the information. There's like two lines after that. From the school, SN International, blah, blah, blah. And then you love to dance.
yeah.
Should,
That
okay.
that practically summarizes me generally.
Really. I was just like really having a conversation with a young girl. way, way above my pay grade. Okay. And there's a huge Swifty. What is that? Tell
Oh,
uncle.
okay. I thought I should write that, but it's Taylor Swift fan.
Oh, where's my 14-year-old daughter gone when I need a Swifty? Is that really true? Is that what they say, or you made that up?
Yeah.
Forgive my
No, no,
ignorance,
no.
please. Don't
That's
spit on my
genuinely
face.
what. That's
You're called a
genuinely what they're
Swifty.
called. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Wow. All right. Very proud of you. Kavya, very good, very good. And then Trivik, again a smaller biodata. Very interesting is the fact that you're a huge Liverpool fan. My family is also forced to follow Liverpool
That's
because my son is a huge fan. Sorry, go on.
that's my biggest and only personality trait. That is all there is to me.
Don't be a sarcastic custard. Oh, a word that rhymes with that. Let me tell you something. Don't let them rubbish us sports lovers. They're like, we're, petty thoughts and live in a some insular world. Nonsense. Sport is very important. Real life is crap. I don't understand why you're interested in that.
I
I support you
100%
completely.
agree.
Liverpool first and last, above
Exactly.
nation as well.
Yeah. I mean,
Not our nation because then we'll be
yeah.
shot. So, the Brits, the UK, United
Yeah.
Kingdom. Anya's looking bored already. Anya, are
As
you
soon as we
upset?
start talking about
Oh,
football,
Sorry.
oh, is that's it?
Yeah, it's just the
Okay.
football.
Yeah. Okay. So quickly, guys, let's have a little bit before we go into what your show is all about. So Anya, you're a fabulous dancer. I mean, I was joking and all that, but it's there's a huge lot of accomplishments there. Very interesting to see that you can, because it's a very hard. Just for a minute, let's be serious for a second. It's a very hard sort of thing to do, right? The girls that I've grown up with who used to do that would train for hours at a time, and um, you tell
Well,
us.
I mean, I'd like to pretend that I'm that committed to the whole thing, but the truth is, I'm probably not. I danced and then I took a 2 year break because I hurt my knee, and then I just went back last year, in January, like before the pandemic. Not even, yeah, a little bit before that. So now it's been like 2 years since I'm back, and I've been doing it online, and I have no idea what's left and what's right. So it's just been trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma.
I
Um,
think but dance online means it's for people like me then. No, you just have to do like this, that kind of. I mean, you can't really.
No,
I
my
mean,
teacher really knows like what you're doing. It's like she can see inside your soul and tell
so
you
you.
your
But are you showing the full body and the feet and all that? I mean,
yeah, the whole thing, and then you have to tilt the camera to show the feet exactly because the
oh my
toe has to be
god!
like at the right point near the foot, otherwise it becomes something else.
And this running commentary
Not
telling you right and wrong.
not really, but yeah, kinda has its days.
God, what a way to learn dance.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's been like really odd and strange, but my teacher's
wow.
been great.
But
So
but you're committed. Obviously, it'll help when you go to Harvard or whatever. I think all
yeah,
these exotic arts and those kind of things, they'll come in handy at some point.
yeah.
Or when you're of a marriageable age and you marry a fellow danseuse from Shamak Dawar, the western side of the same dance movement. So we have two worlds not colliding. Yeah, it'll be good. It's good to have something on the biodata, I think. I wish I had something growing up. I have absolutely nothing. Now it's too late. Let's move to Kavya then for a second. Kavya, a little bit more about yourself, other than the fact that you may be 14 soon and you're a
Um,
Swiftie.
like
I'm
I
just
said,
checking my
that
joke.
practically summarizes me. But I
did you forget
do
the makeup
jazz,
session?
and yeah, I also mentioned that in mine. But yeah, I'm kind of getting over it, not completely over it yet. But I at one point I had a little bit of an unhealthy obsession with apes. So I used to do extensive research, and I wrote like an entire
Indian
booklet
men
on
are very close to
chimpanzees.
apes. It's a good decision. Which is
But
your
yeah,
favorite ape?
chimpanzees.
Me,
They were
me.
definitely.
I was going with the Sharmas. They're right here. If I could just show you, tilt the camera. The chimpanzee is the most cruel of all, from my research.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
Have
they
you
can
seen
all
the
be
other
very.
side? When
Yeah.
they attack,
Yeah.
they remove limbs and body parts and all. They're very cruel in their fight strategy. The gorilla, on the
Yeah.
other hand, is a lovely guy. He basically just bluffs most of the time.
Your
So
description of a chimpanzee sounds an awful lot like Kavya in general.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kavya is a beast herself.
she's a very vicious person.
That's a great idea. Why don't you do that to understand each other better? Why doesn't Anya explain Kavya, Kavya explain Trivik, and Trivik explain Anya?
No, no,
I
no.
think
Please don't
That's
let
what we
Kavya
did.
explain me.
That's what we
We
did in
always
our
did on the
first
show.
episode.
Yeah, and Trivik
Yeah.
couldn't find one adjective to describe me. It was ridiculous.
And please
Uh,
don't let Kavya describe me. She's very mean. That's another
Yeah,
thing you
well,
should
yeah.
know about her.
she's close to chimpanzees, so that's what we're going with from there. Let's see what the lead up from there would be. Kavya, what's Trivik like?
Trivik is he's like I've mentioned this in the show as well. He's constantly making these really bad puns. Then he's like a 40-year-old man when it comes to jokes. Like he's constantly making dad jokes. But yeah, he has like
He's
he
wiped
has
both
a
of us
very
out in one shot, Trivik. You realize that insult was like a backhander to me as well
Two
as a
birds with
forehander to
one
you.
stone.
One, yeah, two
Kavya
old
coming in
birds.
with the
You're
double-edged
40.
sword.
Uh,
yeah.
Kavya, you're
And
really like the chimpanzee you speak of. A lot of angst and a lot of aggro. You tore us
I
apart in
used
2 seconds.
When people used to say that, I used to say, "Oh, I take that as a compliment." So I'll say that I take it as a compliment. But yeah,
The 90. Yeah. Sorry,
Trivik
you
is
were saying about Trivik, huh?
yeah, he's also a bit annoyingly obsessed with football. Like I said, he could ramble on about it the entire show unless Anya and I stop him and
Are no
say
girls impressed when boys are really into their sport? I would think that
No,
some
I
girls, because the
wouldn't care.
passion is
Like,
there for something.
no, I don't care about that. I just don't like. I can't watch football, like especially like the club football. I can't follow it. So then I don't care. If he was rambling about cricket, I would have no problem. I would out ramble him.
Okay, so your point is simply that you don't like that sport.
No,
It's
I'm
not the
not.
fact
It's
that,
a fun sport to play. The idea
yeah.
of the sport is fun. Just the even like the international football, I don't mind. Okay, and then
But
like I
just
have
when Trivik starts talking about football, it becomes a problem.
yeah, pretty much.
yeah.
So what you're saying, Trivik, from your low self-esteem point in your life right now, is that they don't
Yes,
like you, not football.
exactly. You've got it
You've hurt
spot on.
chimpanzees. What
Bullseye.
have you done? You've hurt my friend's feelings. As a member of his tribe, I have to speak up for him. That's really mean. It's not. It's never about the football. Damn it. Really. So Anya, tell us a little bit about. So Shifali Verma is your favorite, the brand new bat on the horizon. Let's see how these two respond to that. Um, you're following the women's team, obviously in England.
Yeah, I am. So actually, my cricket obsession, if you will, is relatively recent. One thing on my bucket list has always been that I would like to follow a sports league. It doesn't matter what league. It could have been football. And then I probably ran out of everything to watch on Netflix, Prime, etc., etc. And IPL was just about starting. And the first match in the November, like in last year, the 2020
Last year, yeah.
season, in like the first match was Mumbai CSK, I think, and I just got a really bad headache and I went to sleep. But I still I would like religiously turn on the TV and like watch the match. Or like if I didn't, I would check the score because I had to sound smart. I would like read the scorecard on the IPL app and like know all the stats. And then eventually I started watching like the whole matches and I got really into it. Like I was up at 5 a.m. when we were playing in Australia, watching the matches and like eating Maggie at 5 in the morning, just
Wow.
really invested in the whole thing. But Shafali Verma, I had read like a bunch of articles about her before this cricket obsession really started, and yeah, I just thought it was incredible. And the fact that like she's hardly a year older than I am, like my list of accomplishments is nothing compared to her. And I think that like the attitude she has when she plays, the way that she plays, just everything about her is so incredible. In like she's genuinely my role model. Like I'm honestly obsessed with her.
Yeah, not to get personal, I don't like her hairstyle that much. But
It's,
that I suppose is not so important, frankly
my
speaking, because it's more about the game. It's never
my
about the
mama
looks.
my mama used to have a hairstyle like that, so familiarity.
I
Really?
used to have a hairstyle like that when I was younger, and I thought I
Short
pulled
hair.
it off, but I really
Yeah,
didn't. Yeah, I had like a boy cut.
Oh,
I had to
and
really
Really,
fight
you're a boy.
till the age
Show
of
me, Kavya, I think you're lying. There's no way I can believe that in your young life you've already had a boycott.
Yeah, when I was
It's
like
very hard to believe.
8, when I was 8, I
really?
had it really short,
Show
and
us a
I thought
picture.
I
I
don't know
bet
if
there
I
isn't
can
any.
find one now. That is that
Wow.
I'll send it to
Why would they
you.
give you a boycott at 8?
When? I
I
don't
my
mean,
know
I
this.
wanted it. I wanted it. It wasn't like I was
Why?
against
You
it.
wanted to be a
I just
boy.
no.
First a chimpanzee, now a boy. What's going on with you?
I used
What
to,
kind of
and I
medication
used
are
to,
you taking? Show me
She's
your
very
hands.
confused.
Yes, it's
I
very
used to
confusing.
swim. I used to swim competitively, so it was just very inconvenient to constantly have to
Oh
tuck your
Now
head
yeah,
it's
into a cap.
aerodynamics.
yeah. So
Kavya had to remove the hair to go faster. Okay, I buy it.
yeah.
I buy it.
yeah, she joined our school in seventh grade, and there's this one boy in our class, our grade, who was like he's the
Champ.
Jesus of swimming, and
What?
Kavya
What kind
came
of
there.
reference is that? Bro,
Kavya,
we're going to fight all kinds of forces in this country, and you had to pull that out out of all the references you had. The Jesus of swimming. Hey, it's a bit of genius, though. Yeah, go on, go on.
so no, Kavya came to school one day, and everyone was like, "Oh, Kavya, Kavya is not the tallest person, and I guess height is a big part of
Oh, you
swimming."
guys, you guys.
I'm short. I'm
We
short.
spent
That
20
I
She's
minutes
agree.
really
just
short.
pulling no punches. Go on, go on. All
and
right.
then she comes to the school and she beats him in a race, and everyone is just like, "How has she
The
done this?" Because
Jesus of swimming lost.
yeah, exactly.
His words, people watching, not mine. Huh? Oh, God. Oof,
It's okay.
ouch.
I don't mind
But
being
that's huge, huh?
cancelled.
Oof. No, but that's great. So she became a legend overnight. Beat the, I would
That
say
is
Marks.
Kavya's whole
Beat,
legacy.
uh, let
That's
me
not
find the right
good.
reference. The Matt Biondi, Phelps. After that, who's there? I don't remember names anymore. Yeah, whatever. So are you still competitive, Kavya? That wasn't
No,
mentioned in your 13 to 14 quest.
Yeah, I didn't I forgot to mention that. But so no, I stopped swimming competitively because I wanted to try something else as well, and that was taking up all of my
Where were
time.
you training?
So I was training with Kharjim Khana.
Oh, well, she was
So
live Smita Patil. But then again, it goes back to my time. Now I have no idea who's there. Yeah. Wow. Excellent. Not bad. 50 meters backstroke. What is your timing? Mine was
backstroke is my
38.7.
worst stroke. So I don't even remember. Backstroke
I
was my
beat Kavya. Chimpanzee in
probably,
your
yeah.
face, mate. In your face. 38.7. I'll show my cert. Anyway, those days are gone. Now that's all I can do. Compete with 13-year-olds who may be 14 soon. Okay. So, Trivik, you want to tell us a little bit about the show,
Uh,
which is beautifully titled.
New
New
skills
New
on the
skates
skates
block.
on
on
the
the
block.
block.
That's it.
Okay. So
The
basic.
Wi-Fi problems. Huh.
So what we do is we come every week, we record, we come to meet each other at least an hour before the show. We find stories which have been assigned to us and or which we've chosen ourselves. We come up with what we're going to say and we present the week's news to you. We have 6 stories per week, and it's just, I guess the idea is 3 kids takes on the news of the world.
Well, you can't do worse than what's out on television in India,
Yeah,
which
that was
is, I mean,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
frankly,
It's a
those
pretty
guys are
low
heavily
bar.
on drugs.
It's a pretty low
Really,
bar.
yeah. And I'm sure you're not screaming and shouting, which has just changed the game for everyone. You
Yeah,
know, I
damn.
mean, now they were talking about a dog crossing the road, it's like, and a dog crossing the road. I mean, it's just so pointless, the news experience.
We're really
So,
calm on the podcast. Like people don't understand how rowdy we are in person. Like we're really
Especially
calm on
me.
the yeah.
And
No,
it takes us so long to like get the intros. Like the other day we were
no,
trying
no.
to do an intro
Kavya,
and we
it
were
takes you so
laughing.
long to get the intros. It
No,
takes
Anya, you
you
were
so
making me
long.
laugh.
They
What?
both started. No, they were
if you
both
find
just
it, I'll
looking at
watch the
each other.
show. This is
Okay.
fun for me. Yeah.
When the intro happens, Kavya, can you do the intro? This is what
Yeah,
Do
do
Trivik
the
the
and I
intro,
intro,
do.
Kavya.
Kavya.
Kavya, do the
It's
Come on,
the
intro.
do the intro.
Kavya,
Prove
do
her
the
legendary
wrong.
intro. Kavya, do the
New
Trivik
intro.
will do
Kids
it.
on the Block. We bring to you stories that top the nation's papers, fresh from the Ascent International School, an IBM desk. That's what happens. And how am I not supposed to laugh? So I tell them, put your cameras off and I finish this intro.
And
But
that makes her laugh more. Just for
but
the
are you
record.
reading out that intro?
No,
No,
I've
she just makes
memorized
it
it.
hard.
I've said it so many times, I've memorized it by now.
Yeah, the intro changed in the middle, so then we had to rememorize the new one. It was so hard.
Well,
Like,
why
Yeah.
can't you just talk the way you're talking to me? Without patting you on the back, you're very charming guys, and I would love to listen to you when you talk like this. But if you go to this elocution mode, it scares the hell out of us. When you suddenly start
That's
saying,
because the intro is the same every time, so it's
well,
become
why
a
do you
little bit
just get
like
rid of that intro? It's your show. Just be yourself the way you are exactly right now. It's highly infectious and charming. You don't have to do anything else. The way you're interacting and pulling each other's leg in the banter that's in the background, these two making fun of you while you're talking. I mean, that's so much
that's
fun.
there. That
that's
is
there.
definitely there.
That's the
That's
show.
there.
Who cares about the stupid intro? The intro is of no relevance anyway. I mean, you get into whatever you're talking into, I'm sure it'll be great. I mean, don't listen to me. I have a failed show myself. So I'm sure you'll find someone else who can advise you properly. Okay, so let's quickly talk about things that mean a lot to the younger generation now, which is being in lockdown and stuck and all that. You can't meet people or meeting, it's not like what it was. And your youth is just passing you by. And that's like a crime. So what's the plan now? What are you guys going to do? And, what how are you going to get this year back in a sense?
Well, I intend to not take anything for granted once I get it back because I have really, really, really missed the ability to A, meet my friends, but and B, play football. Every day we would go down in our lunch break and we would play what our 7th grade. I was in the 7th grade when all this happened versus the rest of the middle school because we were that good. We could hold them off.
No, there were
What are you
just too
saying?
many of them. There are just too many of them. That's the real
Seventh
reason.
grade could take on the other grades.
Every other grade
No,
combined.
no, no. His grade has like 10 boys, and all the other grades combined have like 7 boys.
That's not true. She's lying to you again.
That's
But
the truth. That is
she's
literally,
lying.
that
No,
is
no. They had like
mathematically
double us, and but we are so good. We
rubbish.
always won.
Any
No, no.
rubbish.
Okay,
See,
but
this is
we're
what this I
getting.
have to constantly interrupt their
No,
bantering.
no, don't interrupt. I can't make up my mind who's telling the truth. One is a blatant lie. One is not. So
They're both
Anya's
exaggerating a little. They
No,
both
Anya's
I'm
are.
not.
always lying.
No,
for
rubbish.
Trivik, it's like
I'm
four
Jain. It's
men
against
against
my
four young kids
religion.
against really tough, huh? Sorry?
He called me a liar. I
Go,
said,
go, go,
I'm
go.
Jain. It's
Anya,
against my
you're
religion.
sledging him. So go ahead. Keep the
I'm
sledging
Jain.
going.
I'm Jain. It's against my religion to lie. Just by
Yeah,
the way.
you do it anyway. But
Well, he's invoked Jesus, so he's already
Yeah.
on another level.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all behind Trivik. I mean, his metaphors are woof, right out there. No, but I get you. I think it's my son turned 18 during this whole thing. Not being able to have a beer with pals, or what. I remember my 18th birthday was such a biggie for us. There are two, three which are big ones, and by the time you reach my age, you don't want to celebrate them anyway. So to not celebrate the 18th or the 21st or the 15th and all that, I just think that's it's criminal. And while you want to be around friends, not being around them is again criminal. As you get older, perhaps you can deal with it a little better because they really irritate you, and WhatsApp destroys your mind. But it's really sad. So I have two kids
Yeah.
at home, and they're bored stiff, and they can't stand us, and they're so contemptuous of the parents. And now I can't even blame them anymore because I mean, my daughter's just raising her eyebrows every time I open my mouth. The lack of respect because we're together all the time, and I see all the wrong things in front of someone of that age group, and especially with tech or anything else, that I'm scared. I actually look and check if she's there, and then quietly go out so I don't get that sort of
So I
self.
was really fortunate because both my parents are doctors, so I got the house to myself most days because they had to like go save lives, etc., etc. Um, so it was really
Yeah,
great.
just that trivial pursuit.
etc. etc.
Yeah. Just buy and buy. Just save a
Although
couple.
they claim they're radiologists, so they just don't do anything. But
Oh
whatever.
no, very important in this time.
That's what I was
Yeah.
told, but I don't know. So yeah, I
Well,
got the
it's the
house
start
to
of the whole
myself.
thing. We need their reports to take it further.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, huh?
No, but whatever. No.
You had
So
the house to yourself?
I got the house to myself, so it was great. And like other than the daily 2 hours of crying, I had a great time like through this
What?
whole thing. It was
What?
gorgeous,
2 hours of
glorious.
crying? Stop,
She's
stop.
super dramatic. She's super dramatic, Anya.
She's-
2 hours
You
of
should know that
crying?
about
Again,
her.
she's lying again. I'm telling you, she's always lying.
No,
There's
actually, that's very possibly true because how dramatic she is. But it's very true, possibly.
No, so Kavya, you're questioning the sincerity of the crying. That's another point. The fact of the matter is, did she cry for 2 hours?
There was a lot of crying involved.
But why were you crying?
Because
Because of
I didn't
loneliness.
have anything better to do.
She claims
Really?
that she was playing Mumbai ka traffic noises on her phone on a speaker
Yeah,
and
that
crying.
happened. That
So
happened.
depression of sorts.
Yeah, pretty much. So like the first
You're
week,
missing
it was
the traffic.
so quiet. It was so quiet. What do? You live in Bombay. How can it be quiet? Like you
That's
need
true.
noise to survive.
That's a good point. I would talk to the prophet downstairs to help me, but I don't know if he's interested. Would you buy that? That it became so quiet because we're used to such a horrible city with all the noise and no space, pollution, and etc. etc. And suddenly it was the other way. You're right. After some time, you couldn't hear a damn thing.
Yeah.
Trivik, do you buy what
Yeah.
she's saying, Anya?
No, I mean, I do definitely think she has played Mumbai noises on her speaker because she's a very, I guess she's a very,
Eccentric person.
yeah, she misses the city and she does a lot of city things. I stayed
Hey,
home a lot even before the
I think you're being a little
pandemic.
insensitive. A lot of people have felt really sad. People deal with it in their own way.
Yeah, but
And it's
Anya's
very
not.
possible.
Anya's not
Anya's
that.
not a
Anya's
person.
not that person. She's not
Anya's a
a
dancer.
person. Yeah, yeah.
She's a very
always-
sensitive person. She talks with her feet. Who does that anymore?
I mean, she definitely has the capacity to cry for 2 hours. But I just don't think it's
No, my
possible.
voice will go
If you
after
have
the
a
point.
parentless house every day of the week for 2 years,
No, not
you don't
really.
cry about it. You watch
But
TV
No,
or
I
you play
cried when
video
they came
games.
back. I cried when they came back. Nighttime was for crying. But like
To
in
be
the
fair-
day, yeah.
No, to be fair, you said you cried, got it out of your system, then had a great time. But you cried every day for whatever
like
the depression of being alone
Cried,
or
yeah.
whatever.
It was just that was it.
I
mean,
just lived with the pain.
What?
what are you on? What do you
Really?
see in
This
the
is a
morning?
lighthearted,
Like, I
lighthearted
don't
podcast.
cry
Now I'm
about
getting
things.
scared. When they blame me. What are you doing, Trivik? You live with the pain.
The
Girls, I know about you, but I
missing-
feel a little worried about Trivik. He seems his pain and angst seems a little more deeper than Anya's. Anya seems more like the eccentric artist, and he
I
seems
think
more like
Anya,
the pained one. Yeah.
I'm not pained. Just like
He's
when
just causing pain to
The
everybody
silence
else.
Yeah,
around
around
him.
his
it's
soul.
true. I think not meeting my friends is the only pain, but I kind of make up for it when I play video games. I guess that is kind of a escape for me, at least. That's what's keeping me in the loop with my friends.
Well, you're lucky that it happened now, so you guys have the internet. If it
Yeah,
happened in the
yeah.
80s and 90s when I
Yeah.
was growing up, what the hell would we have done?
We would have-
I'd have gone. The 2 hours that Anya talks about would have been a lot longer because there's actually nothing to do. How much can you read,
Yeah.
for example? There was nothing else, no option. Yeah. Kavya, a quick word.
I think, yeah, I was like they talked about the negatives, but I also think that I got a lot out of this because I was stuck at home the entire time. It was like me doing things that I wouldn't have done normally. So I learned to solve the Rubik's cube. I started doing some like other stuff
Show
online.
off.
Some yeah, I do.
I
I
solved
do
the
stuff
Rubik's
like
Cube. I
that.
cured cancer,
I do.
and then I got hair
Yeah.
treatment for balding men within
Yeah,
15 minutes on a
exactly.
weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all that. I did all that. So yeah, I think like on the obviously there were its negatives and it was not being able to see your friends and all. But I do think there was a lot of stuff that I took away from it as well. Not
But
to sound
did
like
you have a house filled with people like I do, or like
yeah,
Anya? Were you
yeah.
lucky?
4 people. No, 4 people. Three
So
working.
Mine
And I
is
think the happiest person was my mom because she would come and she would like watch our online classes happening. She would come and talk to me in the middle of class. I would go out, talk to her because usually it's just her at home and we're at school and my dad's at work. So I think she was very happy. She loved this lockdown.
my kids scream at me if I come into the do this whole act. Like we've interrupted some huge nuclear arsenal meeting. Trivik was saying something. Sorry, Trivik.
no. I'm like your kids in this scenario. Every time my mom tries to come and talk to me mid class, I always do. Even she's
Yeah,
just trying to come in
exactly.
and at
I
the start of
want
the
my parents to
podcast.
come talk to me mid class. Like anything that's going on is anyways not making sense. So like, maybe like if they have like a snack and be like, oh sorry, miss, my mom was shouting at me. Like could be a great excuse.
I use that excuse a lot in
Yeah,
our
same. I use it
classes.
all the time.
And
Yeah,
then
same.
Prisha, who is one of Kavya's friends, kept called me out for it in our class. And then she was like, Trivik always use that excuse. And then I couldn't use it anymore, even though it did happen. Once it actually
Yeah, but you
happened,
just
and
be
this
like,
was after.
sorry, miss, I have to turn my camera off. My mom called me to do something. So yeah, that happens
But
always.
The
aren't there some?
doorbell. The doorbell's a great one. Like, cause I'm home, I'm like, oh sorry, miss. Like, it started out because my nanny would like come up, and then the key would be jingling, and then it would just be jingling for like 5 minutes, and I couldn't deal with it, so I need to go open the door. So I'd be like, oh, the doorbell rang. It didn't ring, but that's not the point. There was the jingling of the keys. So I would go open the door, and then like anytime I wanted to get up, like I wanted to go and have like orange
You're
juice or
saying
maybe
this.
something
You're
stronger.
saying this on a show, so in case your teachers get to watch it, I'm just giving away the secrets. I'm just telling you.
But
I
it's
mean,
like a really quick thing. Like no one needs to know it happened. It's just like
no,
we
so,
are
I
so
being.
think at this point they know. They definitely
Yeah,
know.
they
they
Because
do
know.
they
know.
We're
said
not
they
But
know.
they
like we're
know.
not
They
hiding
know.
this from them.
But don't some of them actually tell you put the video off if you want or whatever, or keep
Yeah,
the
yeah.
video
Some
off?
of them
One,
do.
So,
one.
like, there's one. Yeah, we have one. My daughter loves that class. That's the class where they eat and drink and relax, and it's on.
It's pretty
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
we
it's
had a
pretty
couple of people there.
subjective. It's pretty subjective to like the teacher and the class.
I don't know if I was a
In
teacher, I would
our
never try to
school, it
force.
was
What's the point?
yeah. In our school, it was mandatory to turn the camera on, but then there were teachers that would just let you keep it off. But yeah.
Yeah. Or like there was I mean, I never really got onto this whole thing until like a couple of months ago. But there was like the whole lagging out thing. So I would
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
go and turn
that's
off the
great.
Wi-Fi or like connect to my nanny's Wi-Fi. Just like real quick. Whoops.
Our
Whoops.
I'll leave the teacher's name unnamed, but they taught one of our teachers taught us how to lag our Wi-Fi in class, how to slow it down, and it would say your
Why
internet
would they do
connection
that?
because they knew how to. I think this is like the
And
last
then
class there or something. I
and we
don't
used to
remember.
use Zoom, and on Zoom there's some setting where you can click something and your screen glitches, like the HT thing, I think, and it looks like your screen is glitching.
Okay, I'm not
And then
like
some
this.
people used to take something and put it over the camera like this, and they're like, "Sorry, I can't see anything. Am I frozen?" And pretend that they
Yeah.
like
I
But
used
it's
to like
okay to
lagging
actually
out.
just freeze. They just act for 5 seconds.
I have
That's
tried to
it.
do that.
once
So
in
we have
class
like
I like zoned out. Once in class I zoned out and then I was just like this. And then the teacher must have asked me a question, but I was just like this. And then she's like, Anya, are you there? Are you there? And I genuinely zoned out. I did. And then she put me in the waiting room and I started like, wait. Because I
and
didn't know
Trivik, I
what
remember
she said.
Trivik once he made a video of him nodding and he put it as a
Yeah,
green screen and then he left, so it looks like
yeah.
you're nodding like this.
I
So
mean,
is
I
that
was there.
there?
I sat in the class, but I tried to do it to see if it would work, and I eventually ratted myself out, and it did work. No one noticed.
Trivik gets so excited about his schemes that like he tells us the schemes before he's run them through.
I think that's it. Because this is the education in the education, you see, which people don't focus on. The creativity and
It's life
innovativeness that you
skills.
come up with.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get out of it, yes, but it shows a lot of creativity. I like it. I'm all for it.
Our,
I think, I mean,
our,
that's more important. It shows the person's got, a certain vision. Because all subjects are dry. You can always learn them if you really put your heart into it. Who cares anyway? But this is great. This is much more fun. I'm all for it. I think the good teachers have understood. Let's not fight with the kids. They're normal human beings. They can only take so much. So let them understand how to lag it, freeze it, blame the Wi-Fi, and get on with it. Okay, listen, we need to take a quick break and get Silvery in, and then he's going to have some AMA questions, which are probably going to come from younger people, and they'll have more relevant questions than why do you like chimpanzees. So let's get Silvery in. Silvery, are you there? He in age is
Hello,
between me and you
hi.
guys.
Yeah, somewhere in
Yeah,
between.
just left
Closer to
ISIS.
Cyrus.
Yeah. You're 29, I'm 49, and these guys are 13, 14, 15, somewhere
Yeah.
between 13 and
Kavya
15.
is almost 14. I don't know
Yeah,
if
Kavya
this
is
is
she's
just,
true.
not. She's not.
she's not
She's
committing.
almost
Typical
14.
woman. That's
Almost.
it. Yeah,
I
almost.
have a question for you guys. These are like you guys were just talking about like these elaborate bunking methods,
Schemes.
right? You can like
Superb.
schemes, right? Yeah, this is amazing, by the way. So, do you guys still have the concept of mass bunking? So we used to like back in the day. I don't know if this is a thing.
No.
If you guys where we
We
used to
have that.
decide.
So we would do that, but our school's really small, so like mass is a
No, no.
relative
Oh,
So
concept.
we've done this once. We did this once in an online lesson where we. It wasn't like I wasn't in school. I had me and my 4 friends were in a class, and our teacher. It was like around 40 minutes into a 1 hour class. The teacher thought we froze because we were saying still, and he was just asking, "Hello, can anyone hear me? Can anyone hear me?" We
That's
all
so
just stood
mean.
still. No, no, we didn't even
all of
plan this.
you.
We all just stood there and we left. No, we left the call. At this,
Oh, man.
we all just once he said, "Can you hear me?" We all left the call because we knew if we all left the call, we just relied on what each other would do, and we all left
So
the
you're
call. And
texting each
five
other,
people.
and the plan is on as you speak. You're in
Yeah,
touch with each
we
other
didn't know.
while
We didn't
you.
even have to. We looked into each other's eyes through the camera. We just knew what was going on. We all left the call, and it was just like the greatest leaving scam of all time. And the teacher genuinely thought he lagged out, and he sent us a new link 10 minutes later.
Silvery.
Oh wow, that's
Silvery.
genius, dude.
But why would they? I mean, doesn't this make sense? How do you expect anybody to go on with these classes without trying a little bit of this and that from time to time?
Yeah,
They're
absolutely,
so
absolutely.
boring because you can't even have that physicality of the classroom where you have your interactions with your friends, which are real and all that. You're just sitting
Yeah,
there. You're a head. They're a bunch of heads, basically. Like my daughter by day
yeah.
3 was doing it from the bed. She wake me up at two
And
to nine,
why would you not?
put the Wi-Fi on,
Exactly.
and boom.
Why
Yeah,
would you not do it from your bed?
yeah.
It's a task to have to put up a desk and then put your computer on the
Yeah.
desk
I
and the
used
whole
to
thing.
change. I change
No,
my location for like every class. Like sometimes it's on the desk, sometimes it's on the bed, on the couch, on the floor, over here, over there. Like just every time. And sometimes my friends are like, "What is going on? Like, why are you just
Yeah.
constantly?" Sometimes I change mid class. Like I don't feel like being
But why
here.
would you? Just for
Okay.
fun.
It's just yeah. Like I need a change. I think like
Change of scene.
yeah, and part of like the reason that our school is like what our school is because of the physicality of the building. Like if you've seen a picture of our building, the insides of the classroom, and like you take that away, and then the school is it's no longer like our school in
yeah.
some sense. Even
A
like the
sense.
playground for that, even for like the football ground for that matter, like it's more than just that. Like there's like a big rope structure and there are stairs, and it just the building is like so much more.
A sense architecture makes it into a very. It is a big
Yeah.
part of its
It's like
identity.
this abstract building.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it won something.
Yeah.
Okay, one
High
something for its
level.
architecture.
Silver, little high level for us. My school just sucked. Just these guys talking
I
about
mean,
how the windows
see,
and the form and structure
I
make
s-
it happen. Education.
I studied in an architecture college, and our building sucked. Like it was a terrible building for an architecture college to have. It was horrible. Another question I have for you guys though is, so you guys are on doing your online classes so often. I'm sure there have been incidences where you or one of your friends did something embarrassing, not realizing that they're still on camera.
All the time. I'm
All
the
the
queen of
right?
doing
Yeah.
All the
embarrassing
time.
stuff on camera.
Tell us,
Like
tell us.
every time.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm like, so I know what's going on in the class, but then I'm like just like reading random articles on Wikipedia pages about like random things. Um and then there's always music playing in my room. Like I wake up and the first thing I do is like connect my phone to a speaker and play music. And so even when like the teacher's talking, there's music in the background, but that doesn't mean but like have this misconception that when there's music playing I can't focus on what's going on. There can be music playing and I can do like 40 other things, no problem. So all the time like there'll be songs playing, and then occasionally I get into these phases where I listen to like very very heavy duty Hindustani classical music, like really heavy duty with like the tans and the like very just heavy duty, like there's no other word to describe it. So occasionally like that'll be playing, and then I've had like, Anya, is there a goat in your house? Oh, what's going on? So there've been those, and then I've like said stupid things
What a
like
lack of appreciation of the fine arts. Is there a goat in your house? I mean, that's what it's come down to. Years of training, a culture that dates back thousands of years. Who is this moronic teacher?
no, this is a
There was
student.
Call
This
them
is
out.
a student, first of all.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay,
In
say
the
that
in
name.
the
Call them out.
early days,
Let's cancel
Yeah,
them.
come on.
no, it's fine. You can leave them be.
There was a
In the
boy.
early days, yeah, go ahead, Kavya.
I know who Kavya's gonna talk about. I
Yeah,
think I know.
Trivik knows I'm going to talk about. There's a boy in my class who, first of all, used to bunk half the classes, and if he showed up, he's always unmuted and he's watching something on YouTube. So once he was watching some Mr. Beast video, another time some other random video, and he's constantly, and every time the teacher's like, "This person, you are not on mute," and everyone's just like laughing, and half the class time gets
Yeah,
wasted. But yeah,
What's his name?
that's yeah.
Just give me a
Yeah,
shout
yeah.
out.
I don't think he'll have a problem.
Yeah, Dheer Jain is his name.
Yeah,
Wow,
he's
Aadhaar
quite
card
a
will.
meme. He's quite a
No.
meme.
He's a very no. There's another guy in our class, my side of the class. He's the Dheer of my batch. His name is. We call him Bhagri. His name is actually Arav Agarwal. And I'll tell you one of his embarrassing stories is the breakout room feature on Zoom, right? Where the teacher
Yeah.
splits us into 3 rooms or whatever. We have to
Yeah.
discuss and come back. So we were supposed to discuss some cultural identity or something. I don't know. We were doing some work in our humanities class. And Arav Agarwal decides it would be funny if he would go and lie down on his bed and would go to sleep mid-class as a joke, right? And he didn't expect that the teachers would come around and doing checkups. This was very early back in lockdown, and he was just sleeping there. And our teacher came in the class, and then I had never seen anyone flip their laptop off their bed before until I saw Arav. His laptop tumbled down he is on a bunk bed, and his laptop tumbled off the bed and it broke. He had to get it repaired, and it was a very big thing. But that is
Yeah.
his Bhagri
mean-
story.
The
See,
price of
all-
avoiding education is so high sometimes.
It's worth it. It's worth
Bad
it.
stuff is that like I say so many things that are embarrassing that like the bar is really high. So
I mean,
Trivik, you can't even argue with this.
Can you give us an example?
yeah, come on, Anya.
There
Tell
are
us what
so many.
embarrassing.
Okay, this
Just
happened.
be
This
yourself.
literally
I'm sure you'll
like
be
2 days
embarrassing.
ago. Thanks, Trivik, for that. Love. This had literally happened like 2 days ago. I was like on while we were like rapping, we were recording the podcast. After we finished recording the podcast, like they were talking and giving us feedback, and Kavya and Trivik weren't listening. I can guarantee they weren't listening because I'm usually the only one who's listening. But whilst this was happening, I was like on my computer, I was WhatsApping someone, and
WhatsApping.
I had forwarded the podcast to someone, and that person was an ex-teacher of mine, and she had like sent me a voice note. I don't know what happened, but I was connected to headphones and everything, and I played this clip. And in this clip, she basically told Kavya and Trivik that they can't phrase their when they speak or something like that. And I didn't know that. Like I didn't know she was saying that. And then it played, and they heard it, and then they were like ragging me on our group chat for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she said.
Why
I'll
did
tell
you put it
what
off the
teacher
moment it
said.
started?
Because
I
she
didn't realize they could hear. I was so confused, and it was a really loud. I don't know what happened. I don't know why they could hear me. I'm hoping that next time maybe you guys
Or
can
did
give
you
me a better
purposely
sound check with this.
play it so that Trivik and Kavya feel a little
Why not?
underwhelmed?
Why
Anya
not?
was the one who forgot her line like 90 times in that podcast.
I
as well.
remember that line that
She
time.
did
You
that
forgot yours.
50 times. No, I don't forget my lines. I'm a
What
professional.
lines?
This is what I do.
No,
But
no,
Anya
no. You're raising the bar for the other professionals. Stop remembering lines and all that. Just do what I do. Just talk about anything and just get it over with.
It's we have to be politically correct.
IVMPODCASTS. on
Yeah, Trivik
Twitter.
has an obsession with every time at the end.
Acronyms.
We have to say you can follow us on social media at IVM Podcast, and he has an obsession with spelling out the entire thing that people don't know how to spell.
Every
So we
time.
like,
Every time.
What a lack of respect for humanity. The man who quotes Jesus.
If someone's going to listen to me, Anya, and
Yeah.
Kavya talking for 10 minutes, you have to question their ability to speak.
I think it's fabulous. You've got great chemistry. I'm enjoying it a lot. And honestly, I think the formality should go out of the window. Remove all those silly things you have to learn. Just look at the banter. It's so much fun. You guys actually obviously have a good sort of chemistry going, and it's just fun to listen. What do you think, Silvery?
Yeah, absolutely. This is so fun. I have
It's very
another question.
organic
Though.
and nice the way they pull
Yeah.
each other's legs. Yeah.
I have another question though. How has cheating changed? Do you guys still cheat in exams
Oh
and
yeah.
stuff?
Yeah.
Come
Now
on,
be careful.
Anya.
I don't.
Okay,
I'm not
well, be
gonna
careful.
speak.
Your teachers
Yeah.
are gonna watch this.
Like,
Be
and go,
careful.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying-
we can't change
I'm
anything.
saying that like
Yeah.
people do cheat. I'm just saying that people
Yeah.
do cheat.
Like
Like
a name
people.
Okay.
that doesn't exist.
When did
Like
Anya
Rupa.
Yeah.
change her name to
Cheater.
people?
Yeah.
When did Anya change her name to people?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean,
Okay, people.
So yeah, how
I
has it
don't-
changed? How has it changed?
so
Come on, tell us,
People.
people.
I'm not so for us at least for the three of us we haven't had any high stakes exams in the last few years, but a lot of my friends from like CBSE and ICSE and all, they were telling me, they were like one of my friends lives in Delhi, and she had CBSE mocks in like September or something, and so she was saying that like I had my she had some economics paper, I think, and she was like, "Oh, dude, I knew that stuff like the back of my hand. It was great." And then a week later, she comes and she tells me she gets like 93 or something on this paper, which is like a damn good score. But it turns out that everyone else, she didn't necessarily use a book, but everyone else used books for them. So like the benchmark for the scores went to like 95, 99, which is not really achievable. So in comparison, her 93 looks like crap. But that way, I think like it's
So
changed
this
a
is a
lot.
story of the non-cheat. It's a beautiful story. The people in question here is a non-cheat who got left out of the cheating experience. So
Yeah.
it's
And
well
I mean,
done.
what's
You're safe on
happened?
this one.
I've even told my teacher this, so like it's fine. Once in a test, I couldn't remember something and I looked it up. I just looked up one thing and then what this happened, like I used to tell myself, okay, only 3 lifelines this test, only 2 lifelines this test, no more than 2. We gotta be disciplined about this.
And then did you do the countdown? एक lifeline है आपके पास. Do all of that.
And if you phoned a friend, I hope it wasn't the
Phone a
Delhi girl
friend,
who
yeah.
didn't cheat, because that was a pointless experience.
Oh yeah, this is a good story. We're talking about cheating, right? So once we were in a test. I'm gonna leave names out of this to protect that person.
Or you can rhyme them. You know, like
Let's call
Arjun can
them.
become Sarjun, like that.
We'll call them Jagir. Okay, Jagir was on. It was not like not
a tough
in
one. I'm
school,
not
it
getting
was
a name.
Yeah, Jagir, I'm not getting
it was
the-
tuition. It was a tuition test, and so it was a math test in our tuition, and in midway, like 30 minutes to the test, the teacher goes away to get water, and I think Jagir was going to ask her, was saying, "Okay, miss," and he unmuted himself. He was on phone with he was on the phone with a parallel teacher, this Jagir guy, and you could hear his teacher giving him the step-by-step explanation because we have to show our working, and you could hear his whole Jagir's whole cheating scam.
I'm going to go with Kabir.
No, but
Because
close
Jagir
enough.
doesn't rhyme with anything. You know, I mean, think about
It's
it.
a weird. The guy is a
You've
weird.
sidetracked
name.
us, by the way. Now we want to know the name.
No, right.
We thought we were
Don't-
simple
I know,
ones.
like one of our teachers told us like he
There's
teaches
a tuition list.
tuitions. He teaches tuitions, and he was saying that like some of these kids, they like send you the paper and they tell you to solve the whole thing during the exam time, and you send it back to them. He said he didn't do it, but he was like asked to do it, which I've heard from a couple of other teachers also. Like, I mean, honestly, like I've reached a point where like like what is the point of an exam? And like I said, we don't have these high stakes exams. Ours are just like class tests, unit tests, and it's like it's not the end of the world for me, at least. Like I'm at a point where I don't feel the need that like it is, and I want to do well, but if the whole week I've like zoned out and just not been able to focus, how am I expected to retain that information for a test? So I'll cram the information like 2 days before and I'll remember most of it, but like I'm not going to remember one odd term like sex linkage to like write in the paper. I could have think of like something else. So
But you've
But
got your own
especially with our
style,
school,
which is no. But she's got a style, but she allows herself to cheat only like on 1 or 2
I'm a
occasions. So
disciplined
it's
cheater.
not. Yeah, so it's got a like a forum, and
And-
it's a limit to it, which is I think I
I mean,
respect that.
I can
And our
personally
school
say
being
I
an
don't
IB
cheat
school-
at all.
Sorry?
But
I have
Jagir
never,
does.
ever
Who the
cheated.
is Jagir? Who the hell is Jagir?
You're never going
Jagir
to.
is a- it's
Jagir
like-
would
it's not even a
disown
name.
me. Jagir would
I
completely
don't like
disown
for a
me.
long term thing. I don't really blame. I wouldn't blame students. And I'm not doing this to make myself feel better or anything. But like, I wouldn't blame students for feeling the need to cheat anymore because it's become so easy and accessible. Like,
Yeah.
it's not hard at all. Like, there's no
How
fun in
dare
it.
you not cheat? Is your point?
If
Yeah,
any,
I want to ask you guys.
if any teachers are watching, these are Anya's words. I have
No,
I'm
no,
not
no, no.
associated
These
with
are
these
assumptions.
words.
These
You
are
hide
assumptions.
behind
This is not
Jagir.
happening for
Your
all
whole
teachers.
story is there's a guy called Jagir. Now you figure it out. Say all across India we're trying to find this name. Yeah.
But that
Like,
name
how
is
easy-
not. Yeah, I'm not.
How
gonna
easy
say
is it to? How strict are they like with phone policies? Like, do you have to like keep your phone, like lock it up or something?
How will you know?
our school is an IB
Like I
school,
said,
so it's
our
not
school-
like test questions.
Our
I mean-
school as a general entity, despite all of the crap that we go on about, like it's a great school, and like also
course,
I'm not being paid for this. And like it is a very relaxed school. So like, I mean, cheating, they have policies and all, but like for phones and stuff, I think it's a general understanding that you wouldn't use your phone, but everyone knows who's using their phone and who isn't.
Yeah.
And like once Instagram came on my computer, that was it. Like that was the peak for me. I was like, okay, bye, because it's just
once.
Like, so exactly. So now it's so easy to just text the topper of your class, like, "Hey, buddy, what's the answer to this question?"
yeah.
Do
But
that?
look, there are 10 kids in my class.
As the
Okay.
personal
Huh.
topper of my class, I
Right. Yes.
But with our school, it's an IB school, so it's not like you have to like ratamaro everything. It's
Yeah.
mostly projects and stuff. So if you have,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
overtime. And if it's the phone thing is that, if, especially for my class at least, if we're doing a test, they'll make us show our desk
Show
area,
your desk.
and then and then they'll make us show. I don't
Wow.
have a phone yet,
Yeah,
but they make
exactly.
us
You don't have a phone, Kavya?
I don't
No,
have a
she
phone.
doesn't.
And
This
then
is
it's
like-
14.
14
Once she's 14. Once she's 14, she'll get
Yeah,
a phone.
yeah.
Yes.
Birthday gift.
We gave it at
Wow.
12 for both the kids.
I
Take it
got
back,
mine
Cyrus.
before.
Take it
I
back.
know.
I
Take it
should
away
have
now.
one, but I don't.
14 is a
Because
little
my
odd in
sister,
urban
because
India at the moment.
my sister got one when she was 14, so I have to get one when I'm 14. I
But the
can't get it a
generation
day
goes
before
faster
that.
Your
now.
sister
After
has, oh
that.
yeah, your sister does have a phone.
Have you already chosen your phone then? Have you already chosen the
No.
phone you want?
No,
now?
I still have a couple
Oh.
months. September.
Oh, nice.
End of September.
29th. 29th. to
Yes.
be
You make them
exact.
You
pay.
remember?
Take a top of the line model.
because-
Nothing cheap on this one. A 14 is
Oh.
too long. But
Yeah.
my daughter was amongst the last in the class and she was 12.
No,
Yeah,
the girls
everyone
in
in my
our
grade has a
grade,
phone.
the girls in our grade got their phones at like 9, by the way, and all the
There you
boys used
go.
to be like,
One of the
and all the
biggest,
boys in our
like-
grade used to be like, you got phones, and then we got phones, and we realized phones are fine. Because we used to make fun of them
I
because we were
moved-
jealous, I guess.
I moved to Ascent like from a very typical ICSE school in like 4th grade. So it's been like a while that now that I'm here. And like some kids used to be like, oh, we have phones, and I used to be like, okay, cool. But I was like, my parents are genuinely like hip people for the most part. Like I had an iPod, and like I had the landline, and I had like different things. And once like this older cousin of mine, he's like, why can't you just have a phone? It has everything on it. But I'm like, no, I have a landline to talk to people, and I have like an iPod to listen to music, and this and this.
Don't the parents confer a little bit about this in the school or whatever and have a sort of standard?
But
like,
the biggest culture shock for me was when I came to the school, and like once I came to school because I was traveling on my own, my parents gave me a phone, and after some time, and then all of these kids
Then
would be
took it
like,
back.
oh, we got our phone at 5 years old. I was like, how can you get a phone at 5? Like one of my closest friends, like I got mine at 7. I was like, what do you mean? And then she justifies herself. It was a flip phone. It was a flip phone. It means nothing. It's like, sure.
Oh, yeah. you
And,
got
and
a phone.
speaking of parents, my mom is desperate for me to tell you that she has a picture with you. My
Yeah,
parents
she-
are
yes.
major fans. My
Yeah.
parents are major
Silvery?
fans.
oh, with me?
No, with you.
No, no.
Yeah, with you.
Yeah, with,
Wow, that's scary.
My
Kavya,
mom
we'd have
has a
given,
picture with
we'd have
you.
given you more mileage on the show. Why didn't you say it in the beginning? We're right towards the end. We're nearly finished now.
She wrote in the chat even. Kavya, tell
yeah, she did.
Cyrus that that I have a picture with him.
You're
So
reading
where-
it. Where's the
Any
chat?
idea?
Oh, it's in comments. I had to switch from private. Oh,
Where was the picture taken? Like, do you have any idea?
I have no clue. I was like, I must have been 5 or 6, but yeah, she has a picture with you. She showed me the other day.
When
But
your mother was 5 or 6 with me.
no one, no.
Kavya
When
was
I was 5, so I don't remember where I was and all. But I remember
were
she
also-
met you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
that comment.
Okay, Kavya's mom. That's a lovely story, but now I'm a little worried. I hope it wasn't a drinking area. Because 5-6 years ago, I was still drinking, and I have terrible pictures from that time. Mostly, I would just jump into somebody else's picture and photobomb. So I hope it wasn't one of those. Yeah, God, that's scary.
My mom says it was at some party.
Yeah.
So possible then? Yeah. That
Drinky Winky was happening. Oh, damn it.
This is turned into a podcast with my mom now.
Yeah, I know. Let's move on. This is very scary. The past is the
Shweta auntie
past. You
show.
can't go back. You know, it's like the Babri Masjid and everything else. We need to move forward. You can't go back. Kids, do not reply to anything I say. It's a non-political show.
Okay.
Oh, all
So get
right.
to some AMAs.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. What are we doing?
Yep, let's get to
I
some
forgot.
AMAs.
We became like them. We're just chatting.
Wait.
All right, let's get to some awesome AMAs. The first one comes in from Kashan Shetty. He says, which is this one? Yeah, he says, Anya, Trivik, and Kavya, what's the one thing about being kids that you will sorely miss when you become boring adults like the rest of us? I miss
Free
my
food.
Game Boy, he says.
Being able to like get away with stuff. Like
Our generation, Game Boy.
Yep, that's true, for sure.
And
Oh,
I think
no.
also just not having many responsibilities, because
Yeah.
especially when like I see my parents doing all these taxes and all that,
There you
I'm like,
go.
I don't
That's
want
the
to do
thinking.
that. Yeah.
Yes.
Also like
Paying
also
bills,
like
taxes,
the one thing
insurance.
that I miss
Yeah.
the one
Just
thing that
having
I
everyone
miss
do everything
already
for you.
the one thing that I miss already is like as I grow older, it becomes harder and harder for me to be in the center of attention all the time. And it's like really hard now because I can't excuse myself. Like when I was a kid, I used to go, if it was someone else's wedding, I would be the one dancing in the center of the circle. And now I can't, like, now I have to have a plausible reason. I have to really know the people. There's like too much thinking involved. I would like to be in the limelight again. It's just so hard.
Just
And
there's a
I also
lady called Kangana Ranaut. Follow her principles in life, and you'll probably get that center of attention thing back.
Thank you.
She's a guiding light to all of
Really
us.
interesting.
Yes. I have a poster in my room, but there's no lighting in the back, so we can't see it right now. Kangana, adorable person. Sorry, Kavya was trying to say something.
Yeah, someone in the chat at school as well, and I think not for the educational part, but just obviously meeting your friends every day, even though that's not happening now. And the environment, I like not the education, but the environment of school. I think I'll miss.
Okay. I thought you meant environment in general, like the environment.
I know for a second.
Okay, that's
we
also
did a
true.
lecture,
That's also
Yeah.
true.
a lecture on flora and
It's
We
also
won't
fauna.
have that
very
when
true.
we're adults. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, have you guys? I don't know if this is an ageist question. Sorry, but have you guys played a Game Boy, or are you guys?
No.
Is the
No,
Game Boy
No.
way well before?
Game Boy in my generation, Sylvie.
I
What are you
grew up-
talking
Yeah,
about?
in my generation also. We also played. Yeah.
I
Maybe
grew
up
up with
yours.
the PS3. I grew up with the PS3.
PS3. Wow.
But then
man.
FIFA is
Game Boy
old hat.
Wow. Yeah, man. Oh, amazing. Okay, and next
No.
one comes in from Stillwater's Night Sky. That's a great.
That's
I
the
see.
parents named him.
Very
Who are we
vivid,
to judge
very
the parents'
Stillwater's
naming of a
Night
name? Yeah.
Okay. So he says, so I'm very curious to understand what you young guns think of the state of affairs in general. Pick any current scenario, domestic or international. Do you have an opinion of what's happening? So I know you guys have already talked about the lockdowns and the pandemic and how that has affected you all. Anything else that you like to that's going on currently that you like to maybe give your opinions on?
I mean,
I
there are
guess
lots of things I have lots of opinions on.
We are the news kids on the block. I don't know. I tried to avoid this for the episode at least because you're going to be live, giving my opinions on stuff. But I already said Jesus of swimming, so might as well go from here.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Give us your opinions. I feel we don't hear enough from the younger generation. Just say what you have to say. Otherwise, the old people just take over. I don't know
Well-
who I hate more, adults or kids anyway. They both suck. Yeah. Go on,
Just
go on.
people in general. Yeah.
Trivik,
Well, I'll let Anya go first. I think she's the
Opinionated.
opinion.
Very,
the
very
very
opinionated.
opinionated person on our podcast.
Can we choose like some international,
Yeah,
discriminatory?
absolutely. Let's
That's
talk
what we
about
do when
Trump.
we do our show. Just go to international. You can say what
Yeah.
you want. There's no problem.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No
We do
problem.
exactly.
politics and we have to keep
What is
editing
actually-
things and thinking.
Actually, I think the fact that we've said this sums up like the state of
There you go.
affairs and
Absolutely.
everything else. So we'll leave it there.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's actually very very
The
pointedly
grass
said.
is less green on the other side politically. Safer that way.
Yes.
Absolutely. So sad.
Uh,
Imagine the cynics at this age. Silvery, what are we doing? This generation, they're already cynical. We
We-
can't afford to get into that.
Oh.
Let's talk about Canada. Canada's got so many controversies.
Vineet
Supreme
Khandelwal has a
turmoil.
great comment. Vineet Khandelwal has a great comment. He says Cyrus is so adult he can't get away from political jokes even for an hour.
And then Prithvi had a better response. He said, "No, I don't know," but they said Cyrus is an adult question mark. Yeah.
Another question.
Everybody's a bloody joker in this country now. This is what we've
Okay,
created.
Vineet. Okay, again, maybe this is again putting you guys on the spot, but this is just fascinating to people in my age group and possibly above. Have you guys seen any of these? Vineet Khandelwal asks, floppy disk, cassette, Walkman, Game Boy.
Oh,
I've
wonderful.
seen
Cassette
a
and a
cassette.
Walkman.
Yeah.
I've seen
not
a
seen
cassette, a
Walkman.
Walkman. I've seen a cassette, Walkman, and Game Boy. I have no clue what a
We have
floppy
a few
disk is.
I've read about a
One
floppy
second.
disk. I've read about a floppy disk.
I don't have floppy disk. Okay. Those are the wrong websites. Sorry, Anya. Sorry.
You've not seen a Walkman?
Moving forward.
I've seen a
So
Walkman.
sad.
I have seen a Walkman. How have you not seen
I mean,
Walkman?
if it's any consolation, I play LPs in my free time if that helps or makes it worse.
It's still the best
Either way.
sound.
Wow.
Yeah,
Apparently, it's
yeah.
still the best sound in terms of sound
Yeah.
quality. That's maybe because of your, Hindustani classical bent and all that. There may be stuff that that was left over from a generation before, and the sound quality will be second to none.
No, so my whole music thing comes from my grandfather because when I was a kid, he used to play solitaire on his computer and play old songs. So I don't know now I know the newer Bollywood songs, but I don't know the whole my mom's generation of songs. I know Pakizao, Broacha, 1950s, Shabab, all of those songs. So I then recently found
You'll
that
have
he
no
has
friends
a
now. Basically, Anya, what you've done is you're talking to a generation that's dead.
yeah.
So you
I know.
actually have no friends in
Anya,
You know,
exactly.
my no friends reached a peak in lockdown where I used to never get any messages from friends. So I downloaded Hindustan Times, New York Times, BBC, and I used to turn the notifications on. So I get random. Let's see if there's one
I think
right
Anya
now.
was definitely born in the wrong generation.
Yo, would you like to know my?
She doesn't
Would you like to know
doesn't
my
even
Hindustan Times update from 1 hour ago? Breaking: Delhi's single-day COVID-19 tally drops to 66. Death toll at 25,023 after one fatality. This is the messages I
So
get through
let's
the day.
put it in perspective, Anya. You were crying for 2 hours in the morning every day. Then you would listen to Mumbai traffic sounds to feel better about your life. After which you decided to cheat, but with a premise that you can only cheat according to a game show standard, so that Amitabh Bachchan is proud of you. I presume that's in the background as
Yeah.
well.
Oh,
And now you tell us this latest thing about I have nobody to talk to or to interact with, so I get media to send me notifications, so I feel like I'm special and that I have
Wow.
company.
That's
This
Anya
is
Daftari for you,
I
everyone.
mean,
sociopathic behavior, and I
But
feel that there's murder in you.
well, the height of it was when like initially when I started watching cricket, it was only the India matches, but then I got over by over updates for Test cricket on my phone, and over by over, so like I get like 200 notifications in 3 days, kind of thing. That was the
She
peak, I
was
think.
forced to take up a sport because of the notifications driving her mad. So she got up to watch Brisbane 5 a.m., with Maggie in her hands. This is a fabulous story. I can see therapy. I can see all kinds of things in the future. It's beautiful. It's
do you
heartwarming.
guys, are any of you actually maybe interested in journalism, becoming journalists at some point?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I have.
No, not at
I
all.
am
Kind of.
my dream job, my realistic dream job, is currently to be a sports journalist kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, dude.
I
football
could
in
see that
specific,
happening, Trivik.
because I'm very good at writing / English, and
He's
I would like
also
to
very
know.
good at being modest, in case you can't tell.
Yeah, I'm the most modest guy I know, so that should tell you.
He's
Definitely.
backing
That's
himself.
that's
Steve
like
War
that's something
philosophy. I'm
Trump
okay with
said.
that.
That's literally a quote
Self-confident.
from Trump.
Bro,
That I
listen,
am literally the
you're
most
giving wrong
modest guy you will ever
examples
meet.
of a braggart, if you like. McEnroe, Muhammad Ali. There are enough people chest out and all who've been great achievers as well. So it's not. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be one way or the other. I say go on bragging. What have you got to lose anyway, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. But plus, if he really likes footy and he can make money doing that, I mean, that's the dream job, because he'll always be happy doing what he's doing, and if he can
exactly.
make a little money, that's great. I mean, you'll follow the game anyway, won't you? You'll be up in the
Yeah,
morning, evening.
yeah.
You'll be in turmoil. Your mood gets affected by the results. So that kind of thing you can take advantage of. So you actually, you're taking that and you're getting the most out of it, and it becomes your strength, literally. Uh,
I think, yeah, and I think the you were saying how it affects my good and bad, my mental health. I guess the
Correct.
football. I think the January through March period of this year was the all-time lockdown low as a Liverpool fan for me. It was
they lost a
the
few in a row
football,
also.
like
Yeah,
6 home games in a row we lost, and that is just
girls,
unbelievable
you can
because we
clean out. Yeah.
I think at the end we also started meeting more people. That's what we do to Trivik when he starts rambling about football.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one
Yeah,
more
like
question.
sorry, yeah.
Okay. Please go ahead, Anya. Please. No.
No, I was
Go
just
ahead.
saying, like, I agree with Kavya. Like, the first phase was fine because, like, there was like whatever Dalgona coffee, which is just Nescafe on like Instagram, and all of that crap was going on. And then like things started opening up, and then that whole like the earlier Jan to March, like kind of not sorry, like the November to Jan Feb thing happened before the second wave and other things we don't need to go over happened. Like that was like almost like a respite to me because like I was able to do things. I could go to the gymkhana, I could like occasionally meet people. I started playing cricket, like all of these like random things started happening, so it was like a good respite from the lockdown, and then it just went into
Which
2.0.
flattered to receive, because we all thought it was going in the right direction, and then boom, we're
Yeah.
back again. Oof. Will you be able to handle a third one?
I don't know.
I mean, your teenage years, the best years of your life.
So
I mean,
we've
I
been
wish it
told.
could be
So
yours.
we've been told.
Yeah.
No, it really is. It sucks after that. You have no idea how bad life gets. It's terrible, horrible. I mean, there's hair loss, organ failure, lack of respect for yourself, no friends. There's nothing to look forward to. For some people, cancer is like good. I mean, it gives you some importance. I don't know. I'm just telling you, enjoy these years, and you got your health. This is the best part. You don't have to worry. We get up every day to think what's working and what's not working. It's a horrible experience once you enter 40s. Terrible.
Yeah.
Silver, you still have a few years. Don't get cynical.
Thanks. Thank you. Okay, man. This last question comes in from
Yeah.
Anuj Kumar. He says, kids these times spend so much time online. What is your opinion on that? Is it good or just unavoidable?
What option?
Personally, I have to go through digital detox from time to time. That's what he
But
says.
what option? Like, I can't even stop
Yeah,
my kids.
I
No
agree.
option, yeah.
I think
Especially-
it's
But do you-
unavoidable. And initially, sorry. Go ahead.
Go on, go on.
No. And initially, like, my mom would be like, Anya, no, don't watch TV. But I'm like, listen, I'm forced to sit in front of a computer to like educate myself. Okay. And if I want to watch 3 hours of TV afterwards to like get over that, then I want to watch 3 hours of TV afterwards to get over that. So I don't think it's unavoidable, but I think like as a generation, it's so in some sense imbibed in like our way of living that you can't really see it any other way in terms
And I
of
think
like
to an extent, it's unavoidable. But then after a point, obviously, then there's the extra stuff, chatting with your friends and stuff, which is also to a point now unavoidable. But yeah, especially
like
because in online school,
unavoidable
it's 7 hours a day plus homework plus
My-
classes online, staring
Did
at the
you-
screen, barely any
And
break.
even
Find
if
different
you-
things to do. Like I think the young lad was talking about right in the beginning. You find different things as positives and the negatives. Like me and my daughter used to take out ticks from the dogs, and that became like a sport now. We
yeah,
didn't even count how many ticks we got.
I got my dad. I attempted to get my dad social media famous. You know, it was like a
Quack
whole
dog.
thing. Yeah, Trivik's my dad's biggest fan. It's so nice. It's so nice.
Trivik, would you like to answer that? That is that a valid claim?
Okay, it's
It is
also
valid.
only
Fine,
fan.
fine,
It's
fine.
also only fan. It's
I think that is the more appropriate term.
but even that like involved technology to some extent because
Well, cults are started with
But
one fan.
I think now, especially because everything that even in our daily lives, it's just even if it can be physical, it's become online because it's easier and it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's more
Scary.
efficient.
You don't use
Yeah,
that a
I
lot,
think-
even when it's normal.
And I
I
think
think-
this lockdown has also given people so many new like ideas of how you can do things normally online, which makes it so much easier.
And then
But-
early lockdown,
Like,
my
our
screen
friend-
time had gone up to 12 hours a day because we had 8 hours of school, 2 hours of classes after that for me at least, and then I would just do 2 hours of whatever, Instagram, WhatsApp.
La Liga,
Yeah.
which you watch on
And
the
that's
internet.
that's not even counting the TV, the matches I
Yeah,
watch on the TV.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but well, here's a one big question as we end. So, what happens to your love life?
it's non-existent as
Non-existent.
per usual. As per
You can't
usual,
even
nothing
flirt.
new.
I mean, how do you? I mean, it's ridiculous. Like back then, half the. I mean, you're in a class with people, and it's natural to do all that. How do you do it on these Zoom calls?
So
Like, hi,
again,
hi, what's
our
up?
school,
I wouldn't know.
my
That's what I mean.
class is 10 people. There are 4 boys. After a point, it becomes borderline incestuous to like people. So
That's true.
it's like there's no point.
I mean, a country of 1.3 billion, over 700 million
Exactly.
men,
I
and you got
just
4
said this.
boys to
I
choose from.
just said this
Oh,
like
that's
yesterday.
horrible.
For a country with
Horrible.
1.3 billion people, there's not a lot of option
Really?
here.
I mean, it's not like New Zealand or something. I mean, they would have a problem, but you guys, how do you land up with just 4 boys in the class?
Sorry.
Our school is-
Kavya's mother said K is not allowed to date. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm not.
K doesn't have a phone. No one can date K because you can't. There's no number to call.
Yeah,
You
that's true.
understand how embarrassing that is? I am Rakesh. I like Kavya, but I'll write it on the urinal wall because there's no point. There's no other way to go. Communicate. That's amazing.
Sorry,
at
Kavya, I
4.
cut you off. Sorry, I cut you off. You were saying something?
No, I was saying especially. I forgot what I was saying.
So your mom said you can't date
Yeah,
Kavya. What's your reply?
I know that. I've been told very, very. It's been laid out. It's clear.
Once you have the phone, then the power of dating will happen. The phone is important, I would think. Well,
I mean, don't say that, Cyrus. Her parents will
My
postpone
mom
it
would
even further.
disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Postpone
the
the phone
natural
giving even
teenagers.
further.
This
The picture will be burnt.
Yeah. Her opinion
So
is
Kavya will be
go
locked
right
down after the lockdown eases by
Yes.
family restrictions. So that's another story altogether. She'll be like Rapunzel in the castle, and some guy downstairs. Let's call him Jagir. That's the name of the day. Jagir will be walking round and round. Oh Kavya! Oh Kavya! One of those crazy romantics, and yeah.
Bollywood movies.
And
Yeah.
Kavya would be, I only like chimpanzees, yo. Not chimps. Oh boy, what fun. How sad.
Awesome.
I mean, both ways. All right, is that enough for all of us? Should we go and look
Yeah,
for
I think
food now?
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Highly entertaining. Thank you, Kavya, Anya, and Trivik, and hopefully we'll get to hear from you guys again.
Thank you.
Do we
Thank
say,
you
like,
so
a
much for having
tune in?
us.
Yeah, thank you so much. And do we say like a tune in to Kavya knows
Yeah.
it by heart? I don't. Kavya, say it.
Well, I don't know.
Kavya, say it.
Say it.
Trivik,
At
you
the
can
end line
spell
that
out.
you say.
Yeah.
Tune for our podcast. Am I supposed
Yeah.
to?
Yes.
Yeah, why would you promote
Yeah.
other people's podcast?
I don't have
There's
to
no point.
memorize,
Nobody
but
comes
tune
back to
in.
us.
Tune in to News Kids on the Block. We release episodes every Friday and get updated on the weekly news.
Yeah.
And
sure.
don't
that
Don't forget
sounds
to do
good
your
enough.
homework.
See, it's live, so we can't even do
That's
it
our
again.
tagline.
Yeah.
There's no
Our
point doing it
tagline is
again.
our tagline is don't forget to do your homework.
But only when Kavya says it. Trivik and I aren't allowed to say it. We're not
Yeah.
as cute.
Yeah.
We're
No.
not cute
So
enough.
me.
Strictly me. Strictly me.
Vivek
Yeah.
has one of those, poker faces. I can't quite tell what he's thinking. Yeah, I can't tell whether he's actually enjoying it or whether he's actually it's like
No, I have
sacrilege.
enjoyed it. I have enjoyed it. I've not enjoyed a lot of things, but I have enjoyed this.
Yeah, there's always next season. Don't worry. I'm talking about football, huh?
Yeah.
Podcast, I have no idea. Yeah. Anyway, okay,
Yeah.
guys. Yeah, yeah. I think that's the universal signal. Okay. See
Thank
you.
you, guys.
Bye bye, everyone.